Now, you might remember this report that I've been reading about that happened on September 27th out of Bengaluru's IT corridor. This was a huge traffic snarl that was experienced by Bengalurians on that ill-fated night Wednesday. And despite all of this, despite this being a regular occurrence in Bengaluru, the IT capital of the country, the Karnataka government has taken a very strict decision. That is to ban carpooling in the state of Karnataka. And this has happened after the Karnataka Taxi Drivers Association have registered a complaint with the government, and they in fact are saying that their businesses are getting impacted due to the carpooling that has been allowed, especially the whiteboard vehicles in Karnataka. So the government has decided to ban that, and on top of that impose a fine, a heavy fine of 5,000 to 10,000 rupees. What do people have to say about it? We'd like to know, and that's why we are opening our call lines for our viewers, because the kind of reactions and responses that we've been getting have been really extreme. Because what happens to the pollution levels, what happens to the traffic situation that continues to get worse is something that the government needs to answer. Also, politically speaking, the Bharatiya Janata Party has been quick to jump the gun. Tejasvi Surya of the BJP has ended up criticizing the government's decision. Now, what we are doing is opening our call lines for our viewers and also trying to get a sense of what exactly is expected after this huge decision. Remember, we know that the Silicon Valley of India has been seen exorbitant pricing for short distances by all the cab services, and that's something that the people of Bangalore have been complaining about. Let me actually take this across to my colleague Harish, who is joining us live on the broadcast now. Harish, first of all, this decision, the government was forced to go ahead and accept the decision, considering the Taxi Drivers Association were claiming about huge losses. This is especially on the whiteboard vehicles, or this is a unanimous decision that also goes ahead and implies to people who are generally taking these carpool services from their own respective, let's say, apartments?
Well, two aspects here. The government is saying that anybody who doesn't have permission for carpooling can't take out these services. It doesn't really come out and specify on, say, somebody, as you rightly mentioned, somebody from an apartment going to office together. Can that be considered against this rule? Perhaps not. That's a grey area for a simple reason. That's not seen as a commercial activity as such. So that perhaps won't come under this ambit is what many are saying. But the larger point here is that it's a city that's evolving, has newer challenges, and the policies too need to evolve with time. And you can't be stuck with a policy that was designed a few decades ago. And the mindset the officers within the transport department too needs to evolve with time. That's a criticism that the department has faced for quite some time, irrespective of the government that is at the helm of affairs. Because we have seen opposition to initially taxi services, we've seen it for aggregators as well, bike taxis. All of this has faced opposition, and it's taken nudge from the industry and the people for the transport department to come out and ensure its policies to evolve. And there are right platforms and licensing mechanisms for newer models that are emerging for transport problems and solutions for them.
Also, Harish, the fact that this is now getting politically played out, Tejasvi Surya was quick to accuse the government of doing something which is detrimental for the people of Bengaluru and Karnataka in general. What is the kind of response that one may expect from the government in Karnataka, or possibly something that has come to light?
Well, already there seems to be a rethinking of sorts. The transport minister, in fact, saying that he will have a meeting with all stakeholders, which means that within the department itself, a section of them believe that some of it might be a little, they might have gone a little overboard with these orders that have come in, and there might be a rethink. And perhaps once the kind of feedback that we are seeing from the industry and others reaches the government, they too will be forced to make changes to it. Yes, there will be opposition from the usual taxi drivers and the auto drivers who've had almost a monopoly of sorts over the transport business in the city for the last few decades. And with newer models coming out, they will have to change. Can they continue to arm twist the government, and how long will the government budge for such a arm twisting tactics? Those are things that perhaps will become clear in the next few days.
Right. And Harish, while this decision was being made public, why did the government not go ahead and, in fact, underline with and in clear terms about the aspects, whether it is for commercial purposes, because the kind of fine that has been levied on carpooling is from between 5,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees, which is a huge sum. And that's why this is leading to a lot of confusion and the kind of reactions that we see pouring in from Bengalurians, especially on social media as well.
Absolutely. This needed two things. One, a wider consultation with people in the industry. There are various, in fact, passenger groups as well. There are groups on the outer ring road that has a lot of IT companies. They do carpool. So the government could have got into a consultation mode with the users as well as the service providers, whether it's the newer companies offering such services or even the traditional auto and cab drivers. That hasn't happened. And as you rightly mentioned, this order lacks clarity and details.
All right, Harish, I'd request you